Welcome to Love Them Knives channel. LTK here. Steel wheel Daitengu. It's a budget knife. D2 steel, G10 scales, made in China. The F11. Not a real big knife. Not a real small knife either. Take a look. We're going to pull it apart here at the end of this video. Liner lock, pretty heavy lock up there, about 30%, 35, maybe 40. How's that drop? It's not. And no, but it's probably on washers, and we will find out more. Flicks right open though. So when you got these thumb studs, you could kick it open. Middle finger flick from the backside, kick it open. So no flipper tab here. This is a satin one. You can get them from White Mountain Knives and use the LTK discount code to get 10% off. So instead of paying $67.99, get yourself $6.79 off of it. Free shipping in the USA. You can get it with the black blade, or this satin blade, or all blacked out. So you can get it black with satin, or whatever that is. That may be a stone. Yeah, it's satin. Okay. And then black with green, black with black, and then green with satin, black with satin. Not all that terribly interesting on the pocket clip. That's pretty damn stiff. I haven't had this one in my pocket yet, but boy, that's stiff right there. That ought to hold on for dear life, all that and more. And it looks like these screws are anchoring your liner in there. Not sure I'm really crazy about this screw when it's going to come up and maybe hit the lip of your pocket. If that would have been better to have that second screw in right there. If they're going to do that, make it flush, something like that, because I don't know how that's going to work, but I guess I'll find out. Here's your back of it, just like clasped together, so it gives that integral look, or whatever they were going for on here. And kind of a lanyard area. You can thread a lanyard through there. Feels pretty lightweight in the hand. And kind of your standard screws for your pocket clip, and really for the body as well. They're not machine screws, just kind of standard old cap screws. So nothing amazing there. Especially for $68. You would think maybe some machine screws, maybe a pivot that's a little bit more interesting. It's got some jimping here, kind of a thumb ramp looking thing. And there's your blade stop here. You got, like I said, dual thumb studs, so you can open it however you want, middle finger or thumb, flick. And yeah, it's light. Let's put it on this. 3.1 inch blade, as I said before, so it's not a real big knife. And 2.8 ounces, 2.88, almost 2.9 ounces. That's pretty light. And there's your grams, 81. So let's roll back around to ounces. 2.8, the Mini Doman, 2.8. So Mini Doman, not quite a 3-inch blade officially on the register, so it's a smaller knife, but it weighs the same. This has got heavier, full stainless liners. This here is the liners embedded here in the G10, nothing on top. So that makes it a lot lighter. Not sure if it makes it a lot more structurally sound. Kick it open. Okay, there's room for all my fingers on here. Ergos are pretty reasonable. If you look at this just by looking at the screws here, you can flip this one side to the other because it doesn't look like this is embedded in the scale or anything. It looks like it's sitting on top, so you should be able to go right or left hand. We'll know that in a minute when we pop it apart. So yes, bigger than that, smaller than my swordfish, way smaller than the Riot Jack. Definitely smaller than the Paramilitary 2. Smaller than my Cebu. And let's see. Smaller than my Max Ace Balance. So yes, this is definitely a smaller knife. Let's put the tape to it. Here we go. And there you go. It's almost 3 1/4. Really, you could call it 3 1/4 and damn near 3 1/4 cutting length on here. So 82, 83 millimeters. 7 5/8. 19, over 19, not quite 19.5 centimeters. So, not too shabby. 0.46 and about 12 millimeters overall there. And let me see if I can get you some blade stock on here. Probably about 3. 0.116, yeah, it's going to be really close to 3, and it is. 3 millimeter blade stock of D2. Now, will it be a knife? Let's see if it's sharp. Oh man, that was close. Yes, and it is sharp, so that might not have been good. Yeah, that's pretty sharp out of the box. Not bad. Better than some. Not as good as others, but it's right in the middle area there. It's reasonable. This is light, easy to carry, easy to disengage. Good cutaway here, although I'm not getting a drop because you're not going to get a drop. Not right now, especially with these washers being brand new after a while. And with the right pivot adjustment, you might get a drop out of this thing, so do not despair. And this is, these knives are really for those who enjoy the washer type knives because they don't want to have to get in and clean bearings and stuff when they're actually out working with a knife. So that's better. Detent. Well, the blade's so light, I can't put it out, and it flicks out pretty well, so it holds reasonably well. Probably, it's not a real strong detent. You don't want one real strong when you're doing this because it's not a flipper. So I'd say it's appropriate. I like it. I don't want it any stronger. I don't really want it much weaker. I think it's in a good place. And so I'd probably put it at a 4.9 to a 5.1, somewhere on my scale, right in there. And do you like the style? And what's that? Oh man, hold on. I got to start paying attention to the names they're putting on these. Daitengu. So, and first when you Google this, it'll say it's something that's larger than the Tengu. So it's a larger than whatever. So more like a winged creature, meditative, kind of a godlike spirit thing, whatever. I don't know. And they can cause all kinds of chaos and crap in the world, and so you can pause and read if you really care. I don't, and so everybody just has to name their knife something, and they keep stretching and reaching. Comes in this box here, and typical steel wheel packaging like this, and then you get this is part of their urban series, so that's what they say in here. Welcome. This is an Urban Series knife. We're not going to tell you anything about this specific knife, but it's part of the Urban Series. So we got Urban Series cards, we throw them in there when it's an Urban Series knife. I kind of like the way Spyderco at least tells you something about the knife, the actual knife that you're buying that's in the box. So that's kind of helpful. And Real Steel does that too. And Kaiser on the outside of their label gives you some information. This gives you some, though. This is not bad. So what are you going to bet? Number 6s. Yeah. Number 8 on the pivot. Kind of standard fare. That's changing. I like the all number 8s all the way across the knife. It really makes life easier. But let's just go down this road. And wow. I didn't even know I was unscrewing it. It was just so loose. It just started coming already. That was kind of crazy. That was all ready to go. And so, you know, that wasn't, none of these are like just really, nobody stepped down on these, that's for sure. Okay, so that does look like a little bit different length, doesn't it? Crap. Better keep these apart then. And I wonder if this is doing double duty through here. So pocket clip. Let's keep our pocket clip put together here. And just pull that off as a unit if we can. Just like that. So I know where I've got those. The rest of this should just be holding onto that liner, which means I should be able to just take this off. And I can. Yes, I can. So there you go, as you have removed all this material, and there's your liner, and it's supported by these 2 screws. So there you go with that. And then there's steel reinforcement up around the pivot area, and clean some of this stuff off of here. Just kind of get her knocked off. There you go. Okay, and so that's where your stop goes, which is in right here on this side. And you've got washers, yeah, of course. But decent bronze washers. At least they're not super thin and weak ass and with some little flimsy nylon washer deal. So I'm okay with that, actually. That looks all right. I'm not sure if I really want any oil on here, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I mean, you got this flat spot on the pivot to try and keep it from turning. Yeah, when you unscrew your pivot screw. So we could just throw this back together. Okay. All right, so now the shorter one, the longer one went here, and the shorter one was further down. And I don't know why they needed a different length. At least they looked like a different length. Okay. And those are some long old dogs, aren't they? So flip them around if you want. go left hand. So, ooh, yeah, we got her logged down. I mean, we got it logged down. Yeah, you got to pay attention to these when there are washers in there. Just give it a little break. Give it a little break. Are we okay? We're pretty damn close to centered. Now we're good. Okay. Overall, is this a decent knife? I guess it's a worker bee. G10 D2, $68. It's a little on the pricey side. I don't demand washers. Don't really have that big a need for them. So, and I don't find the design just to be crazy attractive. So no, no. This would not be one that would be greatly missed if it left my collection. No. Thank you so much for joining me. Daitengu. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. If I'm not, to hell with it. Who cares? I don't, that's for sure. It's another budget offering from Steel Will. They've got a lot out there, and a lot of folding knives with washers on them. At various price points. So you want FRN, you want G10, they got a lot of them. Check them out. White Mountain Knives, LTK, 10% off. And you know what we do. We love these knives. You guys stay sharp.